Hi, welcome to GabiesKnitGoodies. I am Gabie, and this is my little cozy corner where I love to talk about knitting. I was thinking, my dog is staring at me here. I was thinking about telling you guys a little bit about who I am for those who don't know me yet. I have a husband and I have 3 kids, ages 13, 11, and now 9. I homeschool all of them, which is my full-time job that doesn't pay anything. I also teach at our local cooperative, which is we're like tutors, and we teach a subject for the parents, and my kids take classes from other teachers or other parents as well, and so that we help each other out. It works really well. My dog is chasing his tail or something on the floor, so I apologize for the noise. Let's see, and mainly about this channel, I'm obsessed with knitting. I love to knit, and I've gotten into yarn dyeing, mainly because I love to knit with hand-dyed, beautiful, squishy, lovely yarns, and it is an expensive thing to dye with, or to knit with, so I've taken up just creating it myself, and then selling some of my yarn as well. It is a rather involved, lengthy process. I didn't quite realize how involved the process of dyeing yarn was until I got into it myself. However, I absolutely love it, which I didn't know that I would love it so much. But I thoroughly enjoy coming up with colors and seeing how it all mixes in the yarn, and yeah, it's super fun. I do a little bit of pattern writing, knitting pattern writing, and yeah, I have an engineering background, so I think that I like the pattern writing because it's like numbers and patterns, and like the process is kind of very engineering in the making. So I really enjoyed that too. However, it takes a lot of time, just like the dyeing does, so I haven't had as much time to focus on my pattern writing as I would like. So I do have one in the works that I just need to finish the grading of so that I can get it out there. Yeah, so that's a little bit about me. And also, if you have any questions, I've recently opened a thread on Ravelry, and I will link that below for an Ask Me Anything thread that I'd like to answer here. So any questions that you guys have for me, you can of course comment down below, but if you are on Ravelry and you would like to put it in there, that will probably be an easy place for me to have them all compiled so that I could answer them here on the podcast. I always think that's kind of fun when other podcasters do that. So without further ado, let's talk about knitting. What I am wearing, I don't even remember the name of what I'm wearing. I knit this quite a long time ago, and it was in a collection. I think it was called Collection Noir, and it's by Quince & Company, but I will put any information or links that I can find for this pattern down below. It is knit in 2 pieces. They're just boxes, or squares or rectangles seamed together. It is very wide. You seam at shoulders, at the sides, and then you pick up stitches and knit the sleeves. I knit mine out of 2 strands of Knit Picks Lindy chain held together. And Lindy chain is a chain linen yarn, 70% linen and 30% cotton. I like the chain yarn for linen and cotton better than just the plied yarn because it has more stretch to it, like it has more give to it. And so I feel like it's a little bit easier in my hands. It has a wide lace panel in the front here. And yeah, I used to wear this for the past few summers a whole bunch, but I haven't actually been wearing it this summer. And I don't know why. I put it on today and I was like, oh man, I love this top. I should wear it more. So I'm gonna have to wear it more this summer. Okay, what I've been knitting on. Truly, I've been quite monogamous. But I have a small update on something other than the Ghost Horses sweater. I have the Sockhead hat, which is a free pattern. I found it on Ravelry, and it's for fingering weight yarn for a little beanie hat. The original pattern is slouchy, so I am still knitting the round. I haven't knit a whole lot more, but there we have it. I'm making it out of leftover Midnight Party colorway sock set yarn that I dye up, and it is available in my shop. And I'm thinking that I don't need too much more sock knit before we start decreasing. It feels kind of wide, so it definitely might be slouchy. Okay, so I still have this much yarn left, so I think I'm gonna have enough. Ideally, I would like to use up all of the yarn on here to finish it up. So we'll see. But I don't want to run out. Okay. A basket of knits over here. I have a lovely Habitation throw. I can give you a small update on that, but I haven't knit a whole lot on this either. But I have started decreasing now. And I think last time I talked to you guys, I was on my front porch and I was still getting wider. So you can kind of see here, I'll show it to you from this side, that I turned the corner. And let's see, there we go. There's my corner. So now I am decreasing instead of increasing, which is a little bit difficult for me to remember, but it's going pretty well. And the exciting thing about decreasing instead of increasing is that you know your rows are getting shorter and shorter, because they were getting longer and longer and longer for so long. Because it starts with a small point and it just goes by super quick, and then it gets wider and wider and wider and wider. Yeah. So I determined it was wide enough. It's supposed to be a throw, you know, not a huge blanket, and I want to be able to throw it on as kind of a shawl as well. So I didn't want it huge. And I love it so much. It's so fun. So my next few things I'm going to add in here, I'm hoping to have like one row out of this leftover yarn. It is from the Monet Water Lilies yarn. What do you call it? Sock set that I have in my shop. And it's this colorway, and this is the contrast color with it. So I think a stripe of this would be lovely in there. But it's so small, I should wait a little bit till my rows are shorter. And I need to wind these up. But I have strawberry lemonade that I think will go well with it, because I have the mohair here, and maybe I'll do strawberry lemonade next, because I have the pink cotton candy right there, and so I think that will kind of tie things together, like tie in the pink that's in the pink strawberry lemonade. So I think that one's going to be next. And then I have another one that it's blue and gray, the Sky Before the Rain colorway. And it's a little bit different because I don't have anything else gray in here. Uh-oh, I'm about to lose my stitches. So, but I think it will work fine. And then, eventually, when I was recently dyeing, I had some leftover dye. and I thought it would be fun to just put it on I think I did a micro skein, which is 10 grams, and see what I came up with. And it's so fun. It's so fun. So I thought that this would be a super cool pop of color in this thing, in this throw. So at some point in time, I'm gonna put this pop of color in here. It goes with this section, I feel like. It kind of would work with that. And I think, separating things with like this mohair, I think totally works, because then you're not necessarily right up next to a color that doesn't necessarily go with it. But it's fun, and I really want to put it in there. So I think I am. Alright, so that's my Habitation throw by Helen Stewart. And yarns are all by GabiesKnitGoodies, that's me. Before I talk about that, I am getting so close on my Ghost Horses sweater. If you follow me on Instagram, you would see, I can put up a little picture here, that I was working on my sleeve for this during my daughter's horseback riding class. So that was great. I got to sit outside, and the girls and boys were riding horses around, and I was working on my Ghost Horses sweater. There's not much better than that. So I am like an inch or two from finishing my sleeve. I've chosen the long sleeve variety, which is in the pattern. She gives an option for long sleeves instead of the short sleeves. Oh, it's looking so good. And so the sleeve is almost done. And then I will do the next sleeve. And that will be awesome. And it's so squishy and so soft. And the evenings are getting cool. And so when I wake up in the morning, it's kind of cool outside. So it is making me itch to get this finished and to be able to wear it. Because very soon it will be fingering weight sweater weather here. And sweater weather in the fall is by far my favorite season. In fact, we're going camping here next weekend, and so that's really exciting. I love to camp in the fall. I like the fire at night when the weather is cool, and roasting marshmallows and hearing the outdoor sounds when you sleep, and hiking in the mountains. So, very excited about that. But wanted to bring up, I don't know if you guys saw I think it was my last video, I showed the dye process of dyeing up in colorway. And I'm just still super excited about it. I just love it. I've named it Kason after my daughter, my youngest daughter, who is a very a spunky girl. She's very full of, like, her emotions are very big. She's a very happy girl and a very loving girl, but her personality is just very vibrant. And it really secured the name for me when she walked over to the dye pot and she was like, "Oh, I love it." I was like, yep, it should be called Kason. So this is Kason yarn, and I've made it into a sock set with a nice bright key lime green. So it's got pinks and like aqua blue and some purple and some green and a little bit of orange in there too. It is very fun, and I cannot wait to make something out of it. I think just plain vanilla socks would totally do this yarn justice, because the yarn would just shine and you wouldn't need to add anything else to it except for just stockinette socks. So, yay. And then I also, last weekend, dyed up this one, which is not a new colorway, it's the Aurora Borealis, but it's on a new base. So this is an Aran weight base, which is 181 yards per 100 grams, which is less than half of the yardage as compared to like the fingering weight yarn. So it's a much chunkier, big and squishy, and it is 100% merino, superwash merino. But it still has all those pretty deep twilight blues and deep purple and greens, and it's called Aurora Borealis because the colors reminded me of Aurora Borealis, Northern Lights in the deep sky. So I would love to see those one day. My sister actually lives somewhere where she can see the Northern Lights, so I need to visit her. Hopefully the lighting in here is not messing up my colors. It's interesting how yarn takes dye, because the big chunky yarn definitely takes dye a little bit differently than the fingering weight variety. And so it's kind of fun to watch the different yarn weights and yarn fibers and how they absorb the dye. So anyways, in the dyeing front, I have one more thing to show you. It is still very wet because I dyed it today. No, I dyed it yesterday. Yes, I think I dyed it yesterday. Dyed it yesterday, and I soaked it and finished washing it this morning. That's why it's so wet or damp. But it is like a slate blue with speckles, and it is the main color way in a sock set that's coming soon. And it's going to be a very special sock set because it's going to have 2 contrast skeins with it. So it'll have a contrast mini skein, which is 20 grams, as well as a contrast micro skein, which is 10 grams, because I have a vision for some socks. And I think I want to write a pattern to kind of coordinate with it too. But I have a vision for a different color heel, and then the toes and cuffs be a different color. Yeah. Anyways, I get these things in my head, and sometimes I can put it out and create them, and sometimes I don't always have the time to create them, or it just doesn't work out. But so far, I think it's going to work out pretty well. Stay tuned in the future to find out if it pans out or not. All right, that's all I have to show you today. I have been knitting kind of monogamously, like I talked about last time, I think, on my Ghost Horses sweater. So that's coming along quickly because I haven't knitted on anything else. But it means that I don't have as much variety to show you. But that's finishing soon, so be looking forward to a new cast on after that gets done. Hopefully after. We'll see if I can hold off that long. I'm itching to put a pair of socks on the needles because I don't have any socks on my needles, and I wore some socks to church today that were my handmade Monet Water Lilies socks. So I don't know, it made me want to cast on another pair of socks because it's just perfect knitting to bring in my purse everywhere. All right, I will talk to you guys later. I hope that you guys are having a very lovely week, and that you're looking forward to the weekend and getting lots of knitting done. Bye.